Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 12:01 p.m. I want to begin the meeting by our land acknowledgement. Kingston Police Service Board acknowledges that it is on the traditional homeland of the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Huron-Wendat peoples, and thanks them for their stewardship of the land. It is in that spirit of stewardship that we are all committed to providing for the safety and security of all of its citizens. I also want to take a moment to welcome our new board member, Councillor Wendy Stephen. And thank you so much for volunteering and for being a member of the board. It's greatly appreciated. Okay, moving on in the agenda, we have no presentations or briefings. Are there any disclosures of conflict of interest? Okay, seeing none. Can I have an approval of the agenda today, please, including the edits? I need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Stevens, seconded by Christian. All those in favor? And that passes. Vice Chair is getting his coffee. Okay, can I have adoption of the minutes, please, of January 29th, 2026? Can I have a mover and seconder for that? Moved by Adam, seconded by Christian. All those in favor? And that passes. Okay, moving on to communications. We have a number of communications. We have an email from Stephen Reed, Chief Executive Officer, Canadian Association Police Governance, a call for a request for proposals for a member city to host 2027 AGM and conference. Those proposals are due no later than April 1st, 2026. We'll move through these and then I'll come back to item A. An email from the Ontario Association of Police Services Board announcing the KPSB 2026 Spring Conference and AGM being held May 31st to June 3rd in Niagara Falls. A letter from the Solicitor General addressed to Christian Luprick, thanking him for his service on the board. Thank you, Christian. And his appointment concluded as a provincial appointee on February 1st. Resolution from the Office of the City Clerk dated February 4th, 2026, appointing Christian Luprick to the board as a community member for a term ending of November 14th, 2026. Letter from the Office of the City Clerk dated February 4th, 2026, advising of the appointment of Councillor Wendy Stephen to the board in place of the head of Municipal Council for a term ending on November 14th of this year. And just before we move on there, I just want to thank Mayor Patterson for his service to the Police Service Board. He spent a long time sitting member here, and I'm appreciative of his support of the motion I put forward at council with regards to the changes. Now, just moving back to item A, I wanted to ask members of the board if there's any appetite for hosting the CAPG 2027 conference. Okay. I'm sure we can have that conversation at a future time. Are there any additional questions with regards to the communications listed below? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to call for a motion to receive the communications, that the communications from the Canadian Association of Police Governance, the Ontario Association Police Services Board, Office of the Solicitor General, and Office of the City Clerk be received by the board. Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Moved by Jamie, seconded by Michael. All those in favor? And that passes. There are no delegations. We have a consent agenda, information reports, a number of which are listed here. Would the chief or deputy chief care to speak to any of the items? No? Okay. And are there any questions from board members with regards to any of these information reports? Okay, seeing none, we move a motion or call a motion that the consent agenda items be received. Can I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Hassan, seconded by Councillor Stephen. All those in favor? And that passes. Thank you. Okay, we have a number of motions. So motion A, Ontario Association of Police Services Board 2026 Spring Conference and AGM. Before we move forward with the motion, I just want to recognize that it can be amended, and I would ask if there are any alternates for the agenda item. Yeah. Oh, okay, Mr. Springer, thank you. So we'll add Michael as an alternate for this motion. That the requests of Jamie Hassan and Laurie Sargent be approved to attend the OAPSB 2026 Spring Conference and AGM being held on May 31st to June 3rd, 2026 in Niagara Falls, Ontario, and that Michael Springer be listed as an alternate. Can I have a mover and seconder for that motion, please? Moved by Adam, seconded by Wendy. All those in favor? And that passes. Thank you. Moving on to item B, Canadian Association of Chiefs of Police, the CACP Annual Summit. Again, I will ask if is there any interest for an alternate for this? Okay, seeing none. I'm going to call for a motion that the requests of Christian Leprecht, and Jimmy Hassan be approved to attend the CACP Annual Summit being held August 16th to the 18th, 2026 in Edmonton, Alberta. Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Moved by Adam, seconded by Michael. All those in favor? And that passes. Okay, appointments to committees. I want to begin by thanking Councillor Stephen for showing her interest, as well as Mr. Springer. So we have an amended motion as per the edits. So that Wendy Stephen be appointed to the Policy and Bylaw Committee, and that Wendy Stephen and Michael Springer be appointed to the Diversity Plan Working Group Committee, and that Michael Springer be appointed to the Budget Committee. Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Moved by Councillor Son, seconded by Adam. All those in favor? Okay, and that passes. Now, there are a number of vacancies to the committees, and I'm going to sit here awkwardly while people volunteer. Okay, so we have a number of positions to be filled okay, and we'll go through it, and then we'll do it all as a single motion. So we have one vacancy for the Collective Bargaining Committee. Is there an interest from any committee, any service board members with regards to that? Okay, we'll move on. That one member be appointed to the Human Resources Committee. Oh, Councillor Hassan, thank you very much. Okay.
And Chair, I think I'm already a member of that committee. Is that right?
I believe that's correct, Christian, yes.
All right.
Okay, and that 2 to 3 members be appointed to the Strategic Planning Committee. Christian? I'm waiting to hear if anyone, I will also be on there. Okay.
If there's other interest, I'm happy to defer to other members of the committee. But if there's no interest, I'm happy to oblige.
Okay. Okay. One moment. Still would prefer to have a third member. Is anyone interested? We can always come back to it. Okay. Okay, so we're going to put forward a motion that Jimmy Hassan be appointed to the Human Resources Committee, and that Christian Leprecht and Gregory Ridge be appointed to the Strategic Planning Committee. Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Moved by Councillor Stevens, seconded by Adam. All those in favor? And we will defer the remaining vacancies until the next meeting, and after I have some nice conversations with board members. Seeing that there's no unfinished business, discussion and new business. Would any board members like to bring up any new business? Councillor Hassan.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and board members. I just want to recognize this month is month of Ramadan. The Muslim living in around the world and in Kingston observing Ramadan. We'd like to congratulate them and wish them all the best. Also, the Jewish community is next month is celebrating Passover. So also congratulations on them and best wishes. Pink Shirt Day is today as I'm wearing the pink shirt. So we stand together against the bullying in our country, in our city, in our society. And we are all committed to create all inclusive communities, not only in our city, but around the country. That's it, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hassan. Appreciate it. Okay, well, if there's no additional new business, seeing none, I need a motion to move into camera, please. Motion to move in camera in accordance with Section 44 and Section 44(2) A, B, D, E, G, and K of the Community Safety and Policing Act Can I have a mover and seconder for that, please? Moved by Michael, seconded by Councillor Son. And okay, that the board move into in camera after a 10-minute break. And all those in favor? Okay, and that's carried. Regular public meeting ending at 12:11. Thank you so much, everybody. See you upstairs shortly.